People like Lerone Murphy, who cheated death not once, but twice, can make fate look real, even to the most atheistic of souls. The rising UFC featherweight has a story worthy of a movie and fighting skills to match it. Surviving gunshots to the face is usually not a prerequisite for athletic success, but this is exactly what the Manchester native has done and is currently on an upward trajectory to UFC featherweight gold. Lerone Murphy was born and raised in Manchester, England, and like so many of his compatriots, he wanted to play football or soccer. As a promising young prospect, fate's first blow came at age 16, when he suffered a serious knee injury, ending his hopes for a career on the football field. The first incident that would define Murphy's life happened when he was 21 and one of the street kids. On a Saturday afternoon in 2013, Murphy had just left the barber shop when he was gunned down with 2 bullets to the face and 1 to the neck. His survival after a week in intensive care and another in the hospital ward was nothing short of extraordinary, giving him the most fitting of nicknames, the Miracle.
Getting shot in the face twice. And I know before you even got to the hospital, you spat the bullets out as well, which is the most incredibly bonkers story.
Getting lodged in the top of my jaw bone, and I just got up and I felt my mouth was heavy and I spat them out.
You got shot twice in the face and it was only a flash knockdown.
Yeah, it's a flash knockdown.
That's not normal.
Murphy is the nephew of famed boxing coach Oliver Harrison and has done some boxing in his youth, but he started MMA after the horrific incident that left him with 4 prosthetic teeth, a tiny shard of a bullet embedded in his tongue, and a lot of built-up anger. MMA gave him purpose, discipline, and a place to release his emotions as it has for so many other troubled souls. Not long after Murphy debuted as a pro in 2016, his career quickly progressed. After winning his debut as a lightweight in full contact contender, the Miracle scored 3 first-round knockouts in 2017. For his next fight, he decided to go down to featherweight, but the result was still the same, a first-round KO. After 2 convincing decision victories, Murphy fought for featherweight FCC title and claimed the gold by grounding and pounding Manolo Ciana into unconsciousness in the first. A surprise call while on vacation quickly shot Murphy's career from local talent to worldwide stardom. He was offered to face Zubara Tukhugov at the huge UFC 242 event in Abu Dhabi, headlined by lightweight despot and Tukhugov's close friend, Khabib Nurmagomedov. The returning Zubara was a heavy favorite, and during the first round, it looked like everything went according to plan. He took down Murphy and pummeled him on the ground. But contrary to expectations, the second and third rounds were not more of the same, and the British southpaw managed to stay upright for the most part and win many of the exchanges. In the end, the judges scored the bout as a split draw, but Murphy's feat of staying competitive against a top 145-pounder in his debut was a great introduction to the big scene.
The game plan going into that one was obviously to keep it on the feet. He's a wrestler, I'm a striker. Just stuff the takedowns, maybe drag him into deep waters, get him tired and finish him. That was the game plan going in. But I had a bad start to the round. I got dropped in the first minute or something. I got up, and then that's when the fight was on then. He started fading. I thought I won the fight in all fairness, but
the UFC were clearly impressed by Murphy, and a year later, he returned to Abu Dhabi for the second of the post-lockdown shows, known as Fight Island. This time around, Lerone did not need many rounds to score his first UFC victory. His Brazilian opponent, Ricardo Ramos, evoked his inner ninja and threw eye-catching but not very effective spinning techniques. The Miracle relied on more conventional means, and after a successful takedown, inflicted nasty ground and pound damage for the win.
He doesn't look good. Oh my God! Right hand splits the guard. Shots. That's it. Murphy still undefeated.
At the beginning of 2021, Murphy was once again paired with high-quality opposition in the face of dangerous veteran Douglas Silva de Andrade. Despite needing the full 3 rounds to earn the victory, Lerone turned in an arguably better performance than his first-round KO of Ramos. For the entire fight, he was one step ahead of the Brazilian and managed to keep his distance and land numerous calf kicks and hard punches. Despite some rough moments and back-and-forth action, the hero of our story emerged victorious in his third UFC bout. Lerone extended his unbeaten record in his fourth straight trip to Abu Dhabi for a fight against short-notice replacement, Makwan Amirkhani. The first round was all Amirkhani, with a grappler taking Murphy down and holding the valuable top position. Murphy would have none of this in the second. He perfectly set the bait and feinted Amirkhani to shoot, only to intercept him with a vicious knee, which left the veteran in need of medical attention on the canvas. But then, in 2022, Murphy had to produce another miracle outside of the octagon. This time, the Brit was in a horrific traffic accident where he was hit by a car while biking and suffered a serious injury to his head. If that wasn't enough, he had to wait 45 minutes for the ambulance to arrive, nearly bleeding out.
How bad was the accident and the hospitalization?
Yeah, it was bad, close to death. But I'm back to full health now, which is great, and I feel just as good as I've always felt.
Not only did he recover from his second near-death experience, but he returned to fighting not long after. It's no wonder Murphy's accidents have given him great strength. Or as he says, "I've got a purpose. I've got a bigger purpose in life, and that's what pushes me on," Murphy said. "I feel like I'm here to do something big." After the long layoff, Murphy finally made his long-awaited homecoming in March of 2023 against then-undefeated prospect Gabriel Santos, who stepped up on a few days' notice to replace Nathaniel Wood. Despite the short notice, the former LFA champ gave Murphy his toughest test to date. The fight started quickly and was hotly contested throughout. Santos got the upper hand in the opening stanza, with the harder shots and mixing in takedowns. Murphy entered his groove in the second, landing more frequently and draining Santos. But the Brazilian secured a dominant body triangle and finished the round there. The third was all Murphy, who was fresher and by far more effective. The final scorecards were 2-1 in favor of Lerone Murphy, who continued his ascendance up the featherweight ladder. Real life often produces bigger drama than movies ever can, and fighters like Lerone Murphy are the embodiment of that. One cannot help but stand behind such people and root for them to succeed. To what extent Murphy will advance in the UFC remains to be seen, but his story thus far is truly miraculous, and he has all the makings to reach the top of the mountain.